I will
You're going to
share.
share that
All right.
to the group.
Yep.
And we should be live. And the dog is chewing like crazy.
Don't even mention.
Yeah, don't even
Yep.
mention.
Don't even
Nope,
mention it.
not me.
No.
I'm not mentioning anything.
All right.
Boom,
I think it's
boom.
there.
Why does it take so long to warm all this up?
I don't know.
Because
It's because it's us.
so yeah, refresh. Yep, we are definitely live. So it should be coming up any second. Dun dun. Dun dun dun
All
dun.
right. We'll have to try it.
It's got to be live somewhere because people are starting to tune in.
All right.
Fat
Oh,
Man
man.
Rants. There you go. Is he live? He's not live. Refresh. Hi from Beeville,
All right, there we
Texas,
go.
and Arizona, 70 degrees. I will take in fact, 70 degrees is my favorite degrees.
Okay.
I feel like that's perfect. 70 degrees is perfect weather.
I hope I did it right.
And sunny. Sunny would be great too. Buffalo, we haven't been that cold this year, but dang, it's been cloudy like for the past month. We got a little bit of sunshine today.
Hi, Claudia and Marge.
And Rhonda and Joyce. How do you like that? I'm
So
taking
you're
your job.
taking over my job? That's not fair.
I'm taking your job.
Can't say hello, only I can.
Right.
You're busy, gotta be busy doing other things.
Well, we're gonna
Hi,
be
Joyce.
we're warm. Everything's warming up. Everything's warming up. Yes.
All right.
So it appears all systems are go.
All right.
So
sounds good.
We're kind of trying to keep up with the Super Bowl thing. I don't know when the Super Bowl is, nor do I know who's playing in it. Oh yeah, that's why we're making Super Bowl recipes.
Chiefs, and I think San Francisco 49ers. If I'm right, let me know if I'm right. We know who it's not.
Tell us who's playing in the Super Bowl. And
let's see if I was right.
Yeah. Tell us where you're from. Tell us who's playing in the Super Bowl. But only do it once so we don't get embarrassed by everyone telling us we need to keep up with this stuff. We know who's not in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And I think that's the important thing.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Hi, Mary. All right.
Okay, so we should get crack-a-legging. Yes. But before we do that, we should introduce ourselves.
Oh, I thought you were going to... Well, I'm Heather Kaufman.
And I'm Tim Kaufman, and we run a page called Fat Man Rants. Together, we have lost 290 pounds, but more importantly, we've regained our health. We live a healthy, happy, and active life. And whole food, plant-based lifestyle. We come to you guys on Sunday nights because we know what happened to us is out there for anyone. And if we can do it,
you can too.
Oh, and we should tell them about Camden, New York. We're going to be in Camden, New York in 2 weeks from today.
Yes.
And we put a post out there about it. So if you're anywhere in, would you call that Central New York? Utica.
I think so.
I think
Faye,
so.
if you're watching, let us know.
Yeah, Faye, if you're in here, let us know if we call Central New York Utica, Rome,
Verona.
Oh,
and Brittany said I was right. See? I knew who was going to be playing in the Super Bowl. I am right on.
Of course, we were just kidding. Okay, so we're going to do two things
Joe
today.
And Lynn.
We're going to do two things today. The first thing we're going to do is try to make a hummus. And should we be honest? That we made up 5 minutes ago. But there's more to the story than making this recipe up 5 minutes ago because we've been making it for years. It's actually one of our signatures from 10 years ago. In fact, we had a whole pile of this blow up in a church kitchen once, and it was awful. Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight, but it would be kind of funny. But I don't want to clean. Okay,
not here.
Then the other thing we're going to do, we have a lovely topic tonight about weekend sabotage. Now, you guys think that we are super smart coming up with all these really good topics that affect everyone. But the truth is, the reason we come up with these topics is because we deal with these topics. Right. And we figure if we deal with these topics, maybe we're not the only weirdos in the world and someone else struggles with the weekends. And I'll explain. Actually, I'll just give you a little teaser. So I feel like I do really good through the week. I have a really good routine. I go to work every day. Some of us work every day. Some of us are kind of retired, but work a lot. But yeah, differently differently employed. And so I like in my life, what happens to me is I rock it like all week, Monday through Friday. Saturday, my routine changes, and I feel like I'm not as, I don't know. The wheels tend to come off on the weekend, and I'll tell you, for years, what's happened to me is I undo all the progress that I would have seen on the weekday. So because it doesn't seem like a big deal, it's just a couple of days. But the reality is you can do enough damage on the weekend to undo your perfect week.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Am I alone in this? If I'm alone, I won't talk about it. But we should make the hummus. We should make the hummus.
Make the hummus and come back to
and
our
then
talk.
We'll talk about the weekend.
And Brittany said that is Central New York. So thank you, Brittany, again.
We're coming to Central New York.
Hi, Debbie and Teresa.
So, okay, Central New York.
So, Teresa, it's Camden, New York, not California.
Oh, we should go to California.
Yeah, we should. And Joe says Weekend Sabotage, yes.
All right. We're not alone.
Rhonda said agree.
Okay.
Hello, Rhonda, and hello, Marlene and Teresa.
Oh, this light is awful today.
Nope. Oh, I didn't switch around.
It's awful.
Oh, okay.
It's very blinding.
Oh, okay. That's where she's from. Okay, I got that, Teresa. Oh, someone decided they're gonna interrupt tonight. Apparently, they need something.
Well, when you get me going, I guess.
So we will have to take care of him in a second.
Am I here?
You are there. So let me. Or no, you're not there yet. Hold on. I'll hit the button, right?
The little arrowheads.
1, 2, 3, and we're both here now.
No, the arrows.
Yes.
The arrows.
Okay. Oh, do the arrows. There we go. It's just
okay. Maybe give the dogs some biscuits or something. Okay, so we are gonna make something. We've been making this for years and years and years. In fact, at our restaurant, we used to make this 60 pounds at a time. Now, through the years, I've kind of revised this, not so much to make it taste better, although it tastes good, but to make it simpler and easier to make. So this is our buffalo hummus. This is the first time I've ever done it in a small batch, and so we're going to give it a whirl. So I always like, in my buffalo hummus, I just love celery in there. It's a good way to get some celery in there. If you don't have a Vitamix, the celery can get a little wonky, but if you have a high-speed blender, you shouldn't have any trouble getting the celery chopped up. So I'm going to start off. This is another good trick, too. If you have the leaves from the celery or the ends of the celery, if you're making soup or something, once you put it in the Vitamix, it turns it into a celery smoothie anyways. So I always start with the stuff that's hardest to grind first. So that would be my celery. I'm just going to chop this up. If I wasn't doing this on Facebook Live, I would just jam the ribs right in there. But since you guys are here, we'll put them in nice. The next thing I'll do is I want to put some liquid in here because I want that to really grind up with the celery. I have a half cup of hot sauce, which is quite a bit. Actually, Heather's not a fan of spicy food, but when it comes to the buffalo hummus, she likes it on the spicy side. We love a product called Frank's. We get it in our local area. I don't know if it's made its way out to the rest of the world yet. Frank's Original. You do have to watch. Heather says Frank's Original. Because if you get any of the other ones, you got to watch because sometimes they put oil in it. This is higher in sodium. So if you're watching sodium, you probably want to calm down on this. But here's a trick for this. What you can do is put less hot sauce in there to cut the sodium back, and instead add some vinegar and powdered cayenne pepper. That will bring the heat up, give that vinegar kick, and it'll get rid of the sodium. Okay, all that said, I have my celery in here. I have a half a cup of hot sauce. I've already went ahead and drained my chickpeas. This is tricky because chickpeas have all different moisture contents. That's what we found out in the restaurant. Some chickpeas hold on to a lot more moisture. Some I don't think are cooked as much. It depends on the size of the chickpea. So hummus is something you've got to kind of be a little subjective with, but we'll give you a good base for it and it should work good. So I have 2 cans of drained chickpeas. When I drain these, I saved, oh, there's one got away. I saved some of the reserve and I set that aside. I'm going to say that we're going to need a 1/2 cup of reserve in here, but I have extra just in case it's too dry. I can make it a little thinner. It's hard to go back the other way. We like a real thick hummus. The other thing I'm going to do, I have 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and this is essential, a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. And now I'm going to put on top of that, just so it kind of washes it down, I'm going to put a 1/2 cup, about a 1/2 cup. I'm going to start on the lighter side of this, about a 1/2 cup of the reserve.
Yes, Kathy, just like when you get on the phone, the kids interrupt. Yes. Mm-hmm. They just needed a little snack.
Okay, this might get loud. I don't know if Restream will cancel the noise. I'm really sorry. If it does, I'll do this as fast as I can. I'm going to make sure the cover's on. We learn that lesson weekly around here. I'm going to be using the plunger on this, and I'm going to start mine. I have a variable one, so I'm going to start it on a slower speed so it catches all that celery. Eventually, I'm going to take it up to high and really blend it good. So here it goes. On my variable. Just don't hit the rushed it too much.
Nope.
So I'm gonna start low again so it catches. Okay, one more time, I promise. This is actually good. I could use this right now. I'm going to give it one more hit, start on low till it catches, and then I'm going to crank it back up. I'm gonna hold right there. This is probably gonna have a cup. Oh no, it actually looks pretty good.
Good.
If you guys weren't here and I wasn't blasting your ears, I would blend this just a little bit more, but it looks perfect. We guessed right, and I can just smell it, and I can tell you that it tastes delicious. Why wouldn't it? So I don't need this. Now, the old way we used to do this, what we would do is we dice celery, sprinkle it on the top, and then we splash a little hot sauce so it looked pretty. There's all different things you can do with this, which I'll explain in a minute.
And Linda asked, is this the one from the cookbook?
This is a little simpler. But I mean, I couldn't have guessed any better than that, could I have?
No, that's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Now, one of our favorite things to do with this actually has changed over the years. We love to make sandwiches out of this. Mm-hmm. It's super, super good. But I'm going to show you how we can actually get a little creative. This is not a character for me, but since it's the Super Bowl and we know who's playing, I'm going to get a little creative. So we get these, are these called English cucumbers?
Or seedless.
So we're not too fancy around here, but the normal way to do this, right, would be to cut. Yeah, and this is just like kind of blah. If you want to step it up, you can take your peeler, peel every other one so you got some stripes. How we like to do it, though, this works a lot easier with a mandolin, but I'm going to attempt it with a knife. I like to come right down on an angle like this, and then I like to make these real nice strips. And if you have a mandolin, it's way easier. This is actually kind of hard, but I like to make like this for a couple reasons. If I'm going to have a nice veggie sandwich, these are the cucumbers that I want on there. But these also look amazing on a nice tray because you can spread them around. We should actually do that, actually.
Okay.
We can spread them around on the tray. And then I'm going to show you one more little trick to level it up even more.
You want this one? Or is it too
That's
big?
huge.
Too big? Okay.
Yeah, just like, here.
Oh, I have one.
I got one right here.
All right.
So yeah, you could do something like this and have these beautiful things hanging off the tray like this. Look how cute that is. See how cute that is? It's so fancy. It's out of character for us. Here's the other thing you could do. I'm not going to attempt it because I know I'm going to make a mess. But a lot of times, if I want to get really fancy, I'll take a sandwich bag and I'll fill this with hummus, seal it up, and I'll just cut the corner off a little bit with scissors, and I'll pipe this on stuff. So here's a couple of things I do. I would cut a cucumber the long ways, take a spoon and scrape all the seeds out, replace the seeds with a nice big, I don't know, I weld, so we'll call it a big bead of hummus down the middle. I don't know what else to call it. The other thing you can do is cut the coins like this and just put a nice big dollop on them. And then if you really want to level them up, you can put a jalapeno slice on top of that. So there's all different things you can do with this. Sky's the limit. The last thing I'll say is, let's say I wanted to make some dressing. I could take some of my hummus out like this, and I could go back and put some more reserves in there and make it nice and thin. And that will give you a beautiful bean-based dressing. If you like buffalo style stuff, you can have a buffalo salad that way too. If you put a couple cubes of tofu in there and put this nice dressing on there, boom, it's so good. It's so good.
You need to move that over so they can see that.
No, I'm going to new trick. I have a new trick. I have a new trick. Like everyone's going to be like, what? Here, we'll even do one of these for Instagram. We could put a little fancy.
Because of the way it, okay.
No. Watch. I got you.
Oh, okay. Well,
right here.
All right. There we go.
Look at that, guys.
There you go.
Come on. Look how fancy we are. Isn't that impressive?
Hi, Jude. And she says, yes, she has Frank's too. And somebody else said the same thing.
Okay. So before my arm breaks, let's go back to the other.
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, and just the arrows.
Just the arrows. Boom! You're so good at this.
I'm getting better. Hi, Jerry. Came in just on time.
Yeah, we're getting so good at this technology stuff.
Do you use a food processor for hummus too?
So I've never had good luck with it. I do know this. Hummus is tricky in the Vitamix because you got to find that sweet spot. To be honest with you, this hummus is great. When we make hummus, we like it even on the more dry side. And the Vitamix is hard to do that. We have used a process before. The processor, we like to do more chickpea salads, kind of keep them chunky. But I know the other thing that we used to use that actually worked, we haven't used one in years, is the Ninja. Not like a real Ninja, like the blender Ninja. And we've had success with that with the blades. But I'll tell you what, you got to be careful with those things.
Yeah.
Because you put your hand in there and it's not going to come out the same way it went in.
Yes.
Okay. So again, we got our game information.
And did you put this recipe out?
I did not because I didn't know if it would work, so I didn't put it on the website.
All right. So it'll be on the website.
I will have my assistant that does not have to work tomorrow put it on the website. Okay. All that said, we hope you like this. Tell us if you like the buffalo hummus. And I'll get the recipe right out. Oh, before I forget, I pinned a comment all the way up at the top. I actually just got off a Zoom call with Chef AJ, and I am very honored. She's running her Truth About Weight Loss Summit that starts in a few days. I put a link up at the top. It's free. And this year it's the best of her past 5.
Nice. And
I'm honored to be one of the best of in the 5. So that's pretty cool. But it's a free event. Sign up for it. You got nothing to lose. So go ahead and do that. Let's talk.
What about a NutriBullet?
So I've tried. So I can tell you this. NutriBullets, we use our NutriBullet now more than the Vitamix.
Right.
We do. I use my NutriBullet every day. For dressings, the NutriBullet is amazing. Anything on the thinner side. If you're having a smoothie, you can do quite a thick smoothie in there. But I have never had luck with hummus. And I think the Vitamix, the tamper, is what helps you with the hummus. So I'm gonna say no on the NutriBullet. But if you want to do what I said with the dressing, put more aquafaba, put more of the chickpea juice in there, and make it thinner, and that will do it, because we've done that many times. Okay, what else is that all the comments? Are we down to the bottom?
Yep, some went too fast, so I couldn't answer them.
Okay, so
if I missed your question, sorry. I'll try to look them all over a little bit later tonight or tomorrow.
Yes, we've been getting hammered with messages too. Yes. We try to get back to everyone, but right now my book, actually I finished recording the audio for today, and so I'm so relieved that happened. So be watching for the book. I don't want to say dates, but it's looking like in a few weeks here, we'll have something very special to share.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about weekends.
Hello, Kathy Ann.
I almost said weekend warriors. Let's talk about weekend warriors.
We can be weekend warriors.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe that's what we should do. Be weekend warriors. Okay. So I kind of shared this at the beginning, but if you're just joining us, I said that, people think we're super smart coming up with all these great, amazing topics. But the truth is, these are the topics we struggle with, and that's why we share them. So I do really well through the week, Monday through Friday. I'm very routine. I work out, at the same time every day. I'm a teacher, so I go to school at the same time of day. I'm very busy at work. There's no food for me to take unless it's my own. I'm not going to leave school because I don't have time. So I'm great. Like Monday through Friday I'm perfect. But then the weekend comes and my whole routine gets thrown off. I typically don't eat in the morning all week because usually I work out or I'm just busy. I'm just not hungry in the morning. But for some reason, Saturday morning, I get up. Well, lately it's been before 5, but I get up in the morning and I want to eat. And that's out of character for the rest of the week. And I think that change in routine is brutal for me. So hopefully I'm not alone in this. So I just want to share a couple things. And I know we hammer the prep, we hammer that. And I think sometimes I over exaggerate the being prepared for the week. And I don't even think about the weekend because I'm just trying to get through my week.
Right. Hi, Lynn.
So I think that the weekend is a mindset, right? I think that the weekend we've been kind of trained and it's been, ingrained in our minds that we work hard on the week and the weekend is when we let it all loose. Right. And so I think, but I think that that's the first tool for a solution is to have a mindset that going into the weekend, it's just as important as the week for staying on plan.
Right.
And that I think just having a mindset that we have to be careful. Now, I might contradict myself, and I know you have a couple of things written down, but I might contradict myself here, but I think you can piggyback on what I'm going to say next.
Okay.
I also think that the idea to be 100% strict and almost in a punishing mode for the weekend is not the way to go either. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like in my life, if I do that, I screw up because I'm not perfect. So I screw up and then I just throw my hands out and say, we'll get back to it Monday because I'll be back in my routine. So I'm going to say something I very rarely say. I'm not suggesting that we go off the rails, but I am suggesting, I'll give you an example because I just thought of this. So we had our plant-based meetup. I have been avoiding breads, pastas, things like this. I've been really good for a couple weeks. And we went to the meetup and I looked at all the stuff and I'm like, I can only eat the salad, and I thought, no, you know what? Most of the recipes are out of forks over knives. There's no oil. I think the pasta was like a chickpea pasta and there was a banana bread out of forks over knives. And you know what? I went up to the table and I had a small piece of the bread and I had a scoop of pasta. And I think that if I would have not done that, then I would have done something more stupid later. Because I would feel like I think it's okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is you got to choose. I don't want to call them cheats, but you got to choose your treats on the weekend and err on the side of healthy, but maybe have something that you wouldn't have during the week. And I see you have that written down.
So I put to have extra healthy snacks. So like we say meal prep, but we should also be, if we have the extra snacks prepped in our fridge, we're going to go grab those faster than because we're have that mindset. Oh wait, I prep, I have those snacks right there available. I'm going to eat that instead of grabbing whatever it is
chips,
whatever else or
stupid stuff in the
house. Yeah.
And I think we should talk about snacks a little bit too, because typically I don't do snacks all week. And so in my mind, it's like when I get to the weekend, if I have the attitude, well, I don't do snacks, well, guess what's going to happen? Like I'm going to cave. Mm-hmm. But if I have the attitude that, yeah, I can snack on the weekend and maybe buy stuff you don't like. We eat a lot of apples and bananas, mostly because they're cheap, they're convenient. But maybe on the weekend is when we go get the cherries. Well, we had some beautiful raspberries. Mm-hmm. Now they're a little bit on the pricey side, and I wouldn't eat them every day. But man, I'll tell you, those fresh raspberries, what a freaking treat those were.
Right. And when it is a treat like that, then if you can, then it's nice to be able to spend that extra money on that treat instead of spending it on the junk.
And, I know they were just raspberries, but I feel like I'm getting away with something because it's something I don't normally eat. So I think there's some value in giving yourself a treat on the weekend. For me, this weekend, I've been not eating a lot of tofu. I ate tofu this weekend and I quite enjoyed it. And I guess the point is, it's not really a failure, but if you're going to have that treat and treat yourself because it's the weekend, do it with something that makes sense, but it's still a treat, but it's not like off the rails.
Right.
Does that make sense, guys? I don't know if I'm rambling or not. Am I rambling? Am I rambling?
Well, not. No, I guess you're not ranting. You're not rambling.
I think I'm rambling. Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's okay.
So that works for me this weekend, and I'm going back Monday with a smile on my face because I know from experience as a food addict, I know from experience that I can be really good 5 days, and I literally in 2 days, I can undo all those 5 days, and you just get into these swings where you're up, down, and it's awful. It's an awful place to be. It's demoralizing, right? It's just you work for nothing. And I feel like some people would get to the point like, why bother at all? I'm done. So that's my suggestion, and we used to be really into this, getting a star fruit or one of those little, something you don't normally do.
Well, like here, Denise says, I allow myself to buy the expensive grapes this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
There's Denise, those cotton candy grapes or something like that.
Moondrop grapes are about that big. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Search out those fruits you haven't tried, or even veggies you haven't tried. And
sure,
I'm sure nowadays you can find any kind of recipe or anything to pair it with.
Yeah. So I think that worked for me this weekend, and I'm going to repeat it next weekend.
And those cucumbers look really good to me right now.
They do. And it's because of how they're cut. Like, who wouldn't want to eat them?
It definitely is.
That's great. Yeah. So if you guys have any weekend tips, everyone's sick of listening to us, or especially me. Put them in the comments. Help each other out. I want to know them too, because actually I see there's some pears and cantaloupe there, which is I bought
something different this weekend.
Yeah. Yep. So keep it up. And can I say one thing about money? I'm only saying this because I shared it with someone last week, and I forget this stuff. So I want to end with this about money, because this is important. I remember when we first started out, and I remember we went to Niagara Produce, which is just a huge produce place here. And just like we got today, I think we paid $9 for a big thing of apples. I remember this. Guys, listen to this, because this is super good. I walked in and I walked up to the apples. We were brand new to this, and I saw these boxes of apples, and honestly, it was a half bushel, and it was like $30. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder why people can't eat healthfully. This food is outrageous. Kid you not, guys. I would not buy those apples. But here's what hit me on the way home. We went right by the pizza place that we used to stop at, right on Main and Sheridan or whatever. We went right by that place, and we went by it, and I'm like, well, we don't get pizza and wings anymore. And it hit me that we paid much more than $30 for pizza and wings. And listen to this. We ate it in one meal.
Exactly. Where the apples last you several days.
Several weeks, really.
Well, right.
So
depending on the size of your family,
sometimes, and because I see all these memes, well, the reason why no one can get healthy food is because it's so expensive. Your priorities will dictate what you buy.
Right.
You know, I don't want to get into arguments about what's healthy, what's as far as money goes, but I can tell you this: the same people that will say they can't buy, and I'm one of these. Well, I was one of these people. The same people that will tell you that they can't spend $8 on apples have an Apple phone for $2,000 and think nothing of it. Your health has to be a priority, and with any priority, it's going to cost money, right? But put it in perspective. You know, we paid $4 for raspberries. Go look at a bag of chips, what they cost. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
And, you know, also, if you're able to, you know, shop the sales. Some of the stores have e-coupons, or they even have their ad with coupons in it.
Or the bees, buy the stuff on the racks. You know how many bananas we buy that most people would throw away?
The rescue bananas.
We rescue bananas all the time, guys. We have freezers full of them. So you can make it work. You can make it work. And just don't get stuck in this perspective thing where stuff doesn't have to be this or that. Like, we can do or, right? Okay.
I hope this helps tonight. I hope you give the buffalo hummus a try, and maybe this next weekend, if you're watching the game with the Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers.
We have to go all the way down. That's great.
Maybe you can do the hummus and the sliced cukes.
And our salsa from last week. We got a lot of emails about how good that was. And I put an email out with minestrone soup, and people seem to like that. I saw a lot of shares on that. So,
and yes, Kathy Ann, frozen fruit and veggies. Yes, I love steamable frozen veggies. It's my big go-to.
100%. Yep. And we should give them this tip too, only because we just did this. To minimize the last chapter of my book, I've been writing about I don't want to call them tricks, but you know, tips to stay out of the store. Like for me, if I went into the store, it was doomsday. And one of the things I know you did is you went to Aldi and you filled up an entire cart of they're like $1 a bag, right? Well,
frozen veggies, yeah. And also because I just don't like going grocery shopping.
Yeah, but that's a good thing
to stock up because, and get a lot of the veggies, right? And then that's less trips, and then that's less thinking of looking at other things that you shouldn't be putting in your cart.
And you know they put that stuff right when you got to wait in line. They put that stuff right in front of you. So what you did does a couple things. You can never say there's not food in the house because we got an entire freezer full of frozen veggies. So there's always food in the house. And the less trips you have to make, it does a couple things. The less trips you make to the grocery store, one, you're saving a lot of time. I guarantee you're saving a lot of money. And most importantly, you're saving all the times of temptation. So, you know, if you can shop, if you have the room, you know, shop once a month if you can, really. For that kind of stuff. You have to probably still go once a week. But
Linda asked, what other beans could you recommend to replace chickpeas? Can you do the
white beans?
Great Northern?
Great Northern. I don't know if everyone has Great Northern cannellini beans.
Well, Linda's by us, so.
Yeah, and because a lot of people don't like chickpeas because they're strong.
Okay.
They have a stronger flavor. I'm going to be honest with you. One of our favorites, we should do this one week, is black bean hummus, and your favorite salsa. That the only two ingredients. And man,
we didn't do that.
I'll tell you what, that is a really good black bean dip, and people will think you're a chef, and all you did was put your favorite salsa in with some black beans, and man, you put a couple leaves of whatever in there, and they'll think that you got it going on.
All right.
Yeah. On that note, we should say goodbye. Hey guys, if you don't find any value in this, don't do it. But if you find some value in it, make sure you share this with your friends. Facebook is being very mean to us, and they don't share any of our stuff, and they have us throttled way down.
Yes.
Apparently, they don't like the rants.
Police.
They don't like the rants. But in any event, if you find value, it would mean the world to us if you share this. And until next time,
eat plants.
Move your body.
All you got to do is a little more than you did yesterday.
We will see you next week, Super Bowl or not.
Take care.